What's up, Bridal Babes? I hope you're ready for another exciting episode of your favorite local wedding show, Bridal Buzz. I'm your host, Kat, and today is a very special episode. We're going to have 3 guests in the studio, 3 local musicians, Jody Jenkins, Sonja Westberg, and Joe Caruso, all talking about the magic of having live music at your wedding. I'm really excited for this one. If you guys didn't know, I'm a musician too myself, so this one is near and dear to my heart. I'm really excited. Just a quick shout out to today's sponsor, 18th Amendment Mobile Bar Service. You'll hear more about them as we get going, but let's get started. All right, Bridal Babes, now we are going to be talking to Joe Caruso, a vocalist here in San Antonio. Thank you so much for being with us.
Vocalist, see? We're already off to the right start here.
Right? Yes. Okay. And tell us a little bit about your vocal style, what you do, and all of
I knew you would do that. Okay. Well, I'm a baritone, bel canto style singer. That's Italian.
And for people who don't know music, what does that mean?
They can look it up right now because I could go on for hours about
Okay.
it. But all the great standard singers, many of the great standard singers were Italian baritone singers. Your Frank Sinatras, your Tony Bennett's, etc. Dean Martin. So not all, but many of the greats. So I kind of am following along in that tradition.
So you would compare yourself to a similar style?
No. Oh, style.
Yes, style.
Yes.
And you do have a beautiful voice. So, you know,
Thanks.
I know you might not want to toot your own horn, but I will say he is, you know, the Sinatra of South Texas, and you claim that. So
I that's kind of more of a marketing thing to let people know in as few words. Well, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks. I step into the role. I don't look anything like this when I am singing, but yeah, you know, you step into the role, and that's what we do. Jazz standards.
Yeah. Cool. And so you say we. Who is the we in your
I
band?
always say we because I have the most talented musicians with me. Keyboard player, upright bass player, and drummer. That's the classic combo, jazz combo. So,
do you bring in more people here and there if you need to, or is that
absolutely?
Just
if somebody says, "Can you add a sax?" Of course, we can put together whatever people want. Hey, we've had a xylophone before.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's exciting.
I know. Well, it was interesting. Let's put it that
I'm like
way.
Imagining some Stevie Wonder covers with that.
They call it vibes in jazz. So, yeah. Exactly.
Like that?
Yeah,
Did
that's
I do
it.
right?
Oh, exactly right. Yes.
So tell us a little bit about what you think the benefit of live music at a wedding might be.
From my perspective, when I'm on stage and I see people's faces light up when they hear and see what we do, because, you know, we're there, we're in the same room. It's not canned music. We are bringing, you know, I'm an entertainer as well, and you have to have the moves and look, you know, my guys and myself, we really strive for perfection as far as not only our sound, but our look as well. So everything, you know, our suits are steamed and our shoes are polished, and I even clean the cables, all the microphone cables and the cables that we use. So everything has to be pristine and just perfect. People notice, you know, especially the clients, you know, they're paying for that. They want perfection, so they get it. There's a lot of love in the room. I always, you know, for me, I'm also able to enjoy the space, these incredible people who come in with the flowers. You know, I'm smelling the flowers and seeing all the gorgeous settings and everything that they do and they put together.
So you play at the reception. Are there other moments throughout the wedding that you or your band might be playing?
We play ceremony sometimes. We play reception. I have in 10 days, I have a rehearsal dinner coming up at Hotel Emma, one of our favorite places. So we've done just about everything. I've yet to play an anniversary. People have said, "Oh, this is so great. We've got to have you back. We should do this every year." Yeah, that's great. I'd love to sign it.
Sign me up.
So I'm sure it'll happen.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we don't just do weddings. We do just, you know, private parties, corporate events. So anytime there's a call for great entertainment, we're ready.
Cool. And a couple that is booking you, how do they build the set list with you? Or is it a set song list that you provide? Do they work with you? Tell me about that.
My set list is always growing. I'm always learning new material.
Got to spice it up a bit every now and then, you know.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, sure. I mean, sometimes I'm so excited about the new stuff that the old stuff goes by the wayside. I'm like, we can't forget that classic
Right.
stuff. So they're all popular songs. Everybody knows them and loves them. So yeah, I'm more than happy to share my song list with couples and say, look, pick what you want. I've got over almost 8 hours of music in my head. So
Wow.
if your event is 3 hours or 4 hours, you can pick every song you want. Some people trust me and say, just, you're great. I know you're going to do the right thing. So just play whatever you want.
Wow.
Some say, I just don't want these 10 songs. There's a couple songs.
Yeah.
We play live gigs every once in a while that maybe there's a song or two on there that wouldn't be appropriate for a wedding.
Right.
I wouldn't do it anyway.
Maybe it's like a personal thing. They're like,
Yeah.
that song
Yeah,
in
maybe-
my headspace, not a good memory.
Yeah, maybe something has a bad memory for
Yeah.
them. That's fine.
Yeah.
So we won't do it. Like I said, we have plenty of songs to choose from.
And is
So,
it all jazz standards, or is there kind of, some diversity in the
The
mix
bulk
there?
is jazz standards. There are other pop tunes, love songs, a couple quirky things here and there. But they're all done jazz standard style. Like, for instance,
Okay.
I do Kiss by Prince, which is done in a jazz standard style. And
wow.
people don't necessarily know what it is when we're doing it right away. Some figure it out. Some don't.
You put a
But they
swing
still
to
love
it,
it. Yes,
or-
it swings.
Oh, that's so
Everything we do
fun.
swings. That's the bottom line.
Yep.
So,
Must swing.
there's a couple of those in there that are just fun
Cool.
party tunes.
Cool.
Yeah.
What are some of your more popular requests that you get from couples?
Well, they're all love songs too. So the popular stuff, people, when they, I guess, are requesting their first dance, many couples want to hear The Way You Look Tonight. Yeah, there's a couple. There's a couple that stand out as far as, people want
Cool.
for their first dance or for, something special. But it varies. And sometimes people will ask us to learn something. This is a really special song to us. Can you learn it? If we have enough time, sure, I'll do it.
Perfect. And so I guess that's a good question, is how far in advance do people need to be reaching out to you for booking a wedding?
Well, it's always nice to have, to have them
More
on the
time.
schedule. Yeah. I've had 2 weeks sometimes. Can you
Wow.
sing? We're getting married. They're just, I don't know how it came to be, but I don't know all the details. I just
We just
know
met. We're getting married.
I
Can
just
you be
know
there?
we're gonna, we got to show up and nail it. So,
Nice.
if someone hires us a year out and says, "Can you learn this song?" Sure, great. I have plenty of time. I can really master it. I like to work it into the act before the day of,
Right.
so that on the day it's perfect,
Right.
and we've performed it many times or enough times to know that we're going to nail it. If someone says to me 2 weeks out, can you learn something? I kind of say, yeah, depending on what the song is, I like to say yes. But it's nice to have some time to really get to know a song, because I'm not one that fakes it. I hate when I see bands do that. When somebody hires a band, I could tell you stories. Nothing against variety bands, but they don't quite know the jazz genre. Okay. They say they do, but they,
Yeah. Right. We all have our
So.
specialty, and be honest.
Exactly.
Let's be honest about
Let's
it.
be honest, right? If you have time for a story sometime, I'd love to come in.
Yeah,
and tell you.
we can talk about that.
We can do a
whole other
bonus-
time.
a
yes,
bonus
bonus
episode.
episode with Joe Caruso. All the tea will be spilt.
Yes, all of it.
You know that phrase? Okay.
I do.
All right. Well, if our couples are wanting to get in contact with you, learn more about you, to book you for their wedding,
Yes.
how can they do that?
Very simple. My website is joeshow.com. People say, wow, you got joeshow.com? Yeah, I've been at this a while. So joeshow.com, all
Okay.
one word. Or you can find me, you can look for me on Instagram or Facebook or all the social medias. But the best way is to go to my website, and all the links are
Okay.
there. And of course here. You can find
San
me
Antonio Weddings.com.
Yes, right here with you.
And on the Bridal Buzz episode
The
that
Bridal
you've been
Buzz.
on before.
Hello, Bridal Babes.
Hello, Bridal Babes. Well, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. And Bridal Babes, before we move on to our next amazing musician, let's give a quick shout out to today's sponsor, 18th Amendment Mobile Bar Service. This local bartending company is ready to help your reception run as smoothly as possible with delicious drinks and excellent staffing on hand for you. So if you are looking for an amazing bartending service to help for your wedding, check out 18th Amendment Mobile Bar Service today. We've had a Bridal Buzz episode with them in the past, so if you want to watch that, go back on our YouTube channel and check it out, or you can see them on SanAntonioWeddings.com. Remember, 18th Amendment Mobile Bartending. And now, Bridal Babes, we are going to be talking to Sonja Westberg. Thank you so much for coming to the studio today.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and Bridal Babes, if you want to hear more from Sonja, she has been on an episode in the past, so we will put the link to that in the description, and you can go get all of the goodness. Yes. But let's start out by learning a little bit about who you are. What do you play?
Sure. Well, I'm Sonja, and I play the harp. I'm a professional harpist here in the area, and I primarily do teach the instrument, but I also play for a lot of weddings. I have my kind of weekday job and my weekend job for the weddings. So I can play for the actual ceremony or cocktail hour, getting into the reception space now too. So I can do it all.
Beautiful. And I know we're all envisioning that beautiful, melodic harp in our ears and our heads, but what kind of music do you play? Is it classical leaning? Is it pop? Is it anywhere in between?
All the things.
Okay.
Yeah. So I am classically trained. I do have my master's degree in harp. And while I have that classical background, I actually do a lot more of the pop and jazz, R&B, Disney, Celtic, folk, country, all the things.
Celtic. I would love to
Celtic
hear that.
Harp is amazing. So I actually play more of, I think pop is probably my biggest genre that I play these days. And, I think that's just kind of a trend in the industry right now, right. Is that it used to be a lot more classical and traditional. And these days it's, what do you hear on the radio? And, what's your song and what's you and your fiance's song?
Right.
And so I can pretty much do it all. It's going to be the acoustic, cover of whatever song you're envisioning. So
right. What are some popular songs that you get requested?
Oh, gosh. Let's see. Lately, I think it's best for like a bridal processional is Sleeping at Last by Turning Page. Or no, it's Turning Page by Sleeping at Last. That's the one.
There we go.
It was in a Twilight movie, which people either know that or they don't, but it's so gorgeous and it works so well on the harp. I do play a lot of Ed Sheeran. He has the best pop ballads. Anything with really good lyrics, and even though I'm playing an acoustic instrument, you can still hear the lyrics in the back if you know the song. So
yes, how cool.
Yeah.
I would love to walk into a wedding and hear a harpist playing modern music and just be like, oh, wow.
Well, I like to say, it's not only special to have a harpist at your wedding, but when they play music that you actually know and can relate to.
Right.
I'm not playing, that's a lie. I do play canon and D, and I love canon and D. I love a good old traditional piece. But, I think it's even more special when the guests are like, oh my gosh, you're playing Stairway to Heaven on the harp, or you're playing Somewhere Over the Rainbow. I know that song,
Right.
So
I think everybody can appreciate the harp, and it helps them appreciate it more when they're hearing things they actually...
For sure.
No, they might not know the most famous composers of harp music.
I don't even think I know all
them. I don't know. Bach, I don't know.
Little Bach, but... But yeah, I think it's really special to be able to do pieces that are more, with this generation of brides and couples. So, yeah.
And talk to me a little bit about just the general benefits of live music. I feel like that is one of them, being able to kind of customize whatever you want.
I think that having live music, and I hate to use the word unique, but it's so unique because... it's essentially when I'm playing for prelude music, it's essentially a private concert, right? It's for your guests. It's exclusive. It's just us and the nature or wherever we are. But that right there is pretty special in itself. Having live music does offer a lot of flexibility, whether it's in your set list or even the timing of things. Whenever I work with couples, I try to be very clear that this is your day. I am just the soundtrack behind it all. And, take your time. I only want to add to your moment. And, with live music, I can, especially for the processionals and everything, time it just right. I play that part of the song that I have to walk down the aisle to that part, or, it's all about timing. And so being a live musician, I can really make it happen. Not saying a DJ can't make that happen, but I can also make that happen.
It's just different, right?
It's just a little different.
Yeah.
So, so I just, it's a very special edition, I think, especially with harp, you know, it's beautiful to look at, but it's beautiful to listen to as well.
Yeah.
Looks great in pictures. So I think that it offers just a lot of, you know, a lot of beauty in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So,
Yes. Do you have any like epic wedding stories that you would want to share?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Well, actually, so I have a lot of very sweet stories. This doesn't happen all the time, but people will tell me like, oh, well, my mom had a harpist at her wedding, and so I want to have a harpist at mine. So it's kind of this really nice, like,
a generational
tradition. Yeah. From generation to generation. So that's really sweet. I have one, like, this is like insane. I still like, I'm sort of haunted by this story.
Whoa. Hopefully in a good way.
In a good way. Like, it all worked out. It's actually pretty amazing. But this was a few years ago. I was working with a couple, and actually the groom was really hands-on with the planning process, which generally it's the bride, but it was the groom for this, and that's great. And he wanted all of the ceremony music to be a surprise for the bride. So I was like, oh, okay, like, cool. And he was like, you know, I like to ask couples, you know, what are your interests? Like, do you have a favorite movie together, or do you have a favorite band that you like to go see? And, you know, how can we incorporate special music that's like special to you and your fiance into the wedding, kind of a thing. And so they were big Star Wars people. And he was like, okay, well, for the bridal processional, we're going to do Darth Vader's march.
Why Darth Vader, though?
I was just like, you're being serious here. And, you know, that's a very dark song. And I'm just like, is this bride, like, oh, this could either go, you know, one of two ways. Like, she's going to love it or she's going to hate it. And so, you know, I just like triple, quadruple checked with him. Like, are you sure this is like, this is going to work? And so basically wedding day, I'm there getting ready for the big moment, saying a little prayer under my breath here. And I start playing it, and she's walking down, and she just starts laughing.
Oh my gosh.
Like she thought it was the most amazing thing ever. So it worked out, you know,
so
for
glad.
the best. But
so
that
glad.
Was like, this could be really bad.
Oh my gosh.
So anyway, that's just one that stands out to me. But if anybody wants Darth Vader's March, I can play that.
She knows how to play it on the harp, so she's got you covered there.
Yeah. There's other things, you know, with like different venues and setup and stuff. I've like set up in the middle of a forest before, which was amazing, but oh man, it was a little hard to haul the harp around.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Like, how heavy is your harp?
It's about 100 pounds.
Wow.
So
yeah,
it's
not an easy
the
thing
lightest thing, but we made it work, and it was so worth it. It was like this beautiful forest, and like, you know, the birds were chirping, the sun was like peeking through. It was just
Cinderella
it was so
vibes.
cool. Yeah.
Love it.
So
I know we covered this a little bit, but talk to me about how couples would build their set list with you.
So I always start out in the planning session. I have a list. I say it's my full repertoire list, although it's not, because I'm constantly adding new stuff. But I send out a list just to kind of get people started and kind of like, here are some options. And generally that leads to, oh, what about this song? Or how about this one? So I sort of start with the list, but I also like to get to know the couples, and again, kind of what they're interested in as far as artists that they like or movies that they like. So I just try to make, I want it to be as unique to them as possible, because I think, you know, if you sort of relate what I'm doing to the soundtrack of the wedding day, it's kind of like the soundtrack to a movie where it's like the music has to like
100% I
fit,
agree.
you know. And so if it's special to that couple, I think it makes sense. You know, people hear it and they go, oh my gosh, that's totally Susie and Johnny or whatever, you know, whatever their names are. So I like to do that. I also like to, you know, encourage them to go down the YouTube rabbit hole where you just like Google things and harp wedding or ceremony music. I'm starting to put some more things on YouTube too. So
nice.
It just kind of gets the ball rolling, and things just kind of come to them, and they'll text me the next day, what about this song? It's like, yeah, as long as I can find the music, I'll do it. So another kind of favorite story, I played So Fresh and So Clean by Outkast.
Oh my God.
I'll do anything.
That's amazing.
I love to do special requests because, again, I want it to be special to the couple. So
I would love to hear that on the harp.
I'll send you my sample.
Please do.
It was epic. So anyway.
Okay, well, thank you so much again for coming in to talk about live music and your harp playing. If there are couples out there that want to get in touch with you, learn more, maybe book your services, what's the best way for them to do that?
Website's the best, swharpist.com, but I am on YouTube and Instagram, also at swharpist. So feel free to reach out and we can play So Fresh and So Clean.
Amazing. Yeah. Thank you, Sonja.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Of course. And now, Bridal Babes, we're going to be talking to Jody Jenkins with the Jody Jenkins Band.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks so much for coming in. Why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about who you are and your music style?
Well, my name is Jody Jenkins. I've been playing professionally since about the mid-'80s. And we have evolved into what's called a country variety band. And I do a lot of work in the corporate ends. I've done a lot of weddings. And I believe that if you can give the folks a variety of music, anything from country up to dance music to classic rock and roll, I think it's just and audience participation is a big part of our show. We like to get the people involved. So towards the end of the night, if all goes well, I'll have them on stage with air guitars, and they'll be jamming out with us to Leonard Skinner, Sweet Home Alabama.
Love it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I've been doing it for a while, and I still love it.
Yeah, so what do you play in the band?
I'm the acoustic guitar player and lead singer.
Okay.
And my band consists of a lead guitar player, singer, steel player, which plays keyboards, singer, drummer, and a bass player, a sound man, and a light technician.
Wow,
so
fun.
we bring a pretty big footprint to the stage.
Yeah, and you got the whole squad. You're not,
Yeah, we're completely self-contained.
Mm-hmm.
We have all of our sound, all of our lights. It's all ours.
Love that. So you guys are, knit together, know how to put on that show the best way together.
Yeah,
that's
we
awesome.
do. It's fun.
So what do you think is one of the biggest benefits of hiring live music for a wedding?
Well, I think live music can bring a lot of excitement, to the because it's hard to really interact if something's not really live. If you're up there playing with them, you can react with the bride and groom and all the bridal party. And we've done a lot of weddings, and I've helped MC, I guess you would say, with all of that. So it's just, I think it's a lot more exciting, because we have a large CD list as well as for break music. So we can supply a lot of the pop stuff, a lot of the different dance music, and all really the brides or grooms need to let us know is, hey, we'd really like these songs heard.
Okay.
And either we'll do them live or we'll just bring them and play them.
Nice. So that was one of my questions: is how do you go about building the set list with each couple you work with?
Well, a lot of times I'll talk to the bride, or I'll talk to the mom, and she'll kind of say, for one thing, they can kind of look and say, well, I can tell that this guy is not a complete pop dance band. Right. Obviously, he does George Strait, he does Alan Jackson, he does whomever, and then he turns around and does Sweet Caroline by Neil Diamond, or then we do Play That Funky Music by Wild Cherry, and then so we mix it up quite a bit, and it depends. I've played a lot of weddings where they pretty much want straight traditional country, with a little bit of the newer country.
Totally, here in the hill country, yeah.
Yeah. Then I played other stuff where all they want to do is, they want up-tempo, newer sounding country, and then some rock and pop stuff.
Okay.
So we try to just gear our show to whatever they're really looking for, and that's what I like to do when they call us. I want to send them a set list. you get their input, see what they think.
Right.
And we've done a lot of weddings, and they've always been successful. Of course, we know how weddings go. They, sometimes people are nervous until toward the end because it's a big day. I mean, it's their biggest day ever, and I understand that. And I'm there to help them in any way that I can do that.
I love it.
Yeah.
And do you take guest requests at your weddings, or is it kind
absolutely.
of like...
No, it's not a... By no means is it a... It's not an assigned set list. And really... what we do is, and what I do is, I really feel the crowd out as we're going. If we're doing, let's say we're just kind of heading in a direction, but the people aren't really digging it too much, then I'll say, well, let's throw this at them, and then we get more reaction from that. So we kind of stay there for a while, and then we try this, and we try to make it as special an occasion as we can, and as much fun as we can, because it's supposed to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, you want to see the people having a good time. That's for sure.
You want to have them laughing, and usually they always do. So it's I take a lot of pride in that.
Yeah, I'm like, that speaks to you as a performer. If you're able to bring the energy up in the room, then that's
right.
Awesome.
Yeah, it is fun.
And what moments during the wedding do you typically perform? Just a reception, or do you do ceremonies, cocktail hours, things like that?
Well, it depends. Sometimes I've been known to maybe play for 30 minutes, just me and my guitar during a cocktail hour.
Okay.
They'll ask to do that, and then we'll go. And what usually happens is, as the wedding party's walking in, the band will start playing kind of background type music, just kind of laid back a little, maybe during their dinner. But it's really, we're just flexible, because really we just want to do whatever it takes to pull the wedding off.
Right.
Some people are, I played some weddings that, as soon as at 7 o'clock, they were ready to roll. They wanted it loud, they wanted it fast, they wanted it everything. And then I've had other weddings which it's been like, okay, we're going to have a real quiet little dinner, so we just want y'all playing real quiet background music in the back for about an hour, and then you can take a little break, and then we'll go from there.
Then we'll get the drums going.
Yeah. So it's all it's really there is no set formula for it. Everybody's got a different opinion of the way they want their special day.
Right.
And my job is to make that special day happen.
I love it.
Whatever it is.
Well, I love that about you. I feel like you are all about bringing that personal approach to your couple's wedding days.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And what is your favorite thing about weddings specifically?
Usually waiting and hearing the best man make his toast with about 5 shots in him. No,
you're not kidding though.
No. I don't know. I enjoy it all.
Yeah.
I do. I enjoy interacting with everybody, and it's a good time.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Jody, for coming in today. Is there any way that our listeners can find you online besides, of course, SanAntonioWeddings.com?
Yeah, well, you can go to my Facebook page, Jody Jenkins, and I've got the JodyJenkins.com. And I do have a bit, if anybody's interested in seeing us live, we're going to be doing a big Memorial Day weekend Saturday from 7 to 10.
Where's that?
It's going to be at Don Strange Ranch in
perfect.
Welfare. Don Strange Ranch on May 28th from 7 to 10.
Cool. Well, that would be a good place to kind of feel out your vibe. And you'll also have music on YouTube, right? That you put out.
Yeah.
Perfect.
You can check me out. Just Google, if you want to see it, you can Google Jody Jenkins promo, and that'll pretty much show you what the options are out there for your wedding. If you like what you see, we can do that, or we can alter it a little bit.
Well, Bridal Babes, reach out to Jody. He's ready to play your wedding. All right, Bridal Babes, that's it for today's episode. I hope you learned everything you need to know about booking a live musician for your wedding. The 3 that you heard from today are ready to play at yours, so check them out on SanAntonioWeddings.com, and we will put links to listen to more of their music in the description of this episode. And check out today's sponsor, 18th Amendment Mobile Bar Service, on SanAntonioWeddings.com as well. And don't forget, the buzz doesn't have to stop here. We're everywhere online. Find us on your favorite social media, and there's new episodes every week. So we'll see you next time.